8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news, edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. 201 COVID-infected cases have been identified today. The Foreign Ministry says the Sri Lanka Army has been praised internationally for defeating separatism. A new method to accept EPF benefit applications from Monday. Quarantine curfew has been imposed in the Gotatua and Mulleriava police areas. News from overseas, Ethiopia's Prime Minister condemns aggressions after Trump comment. The Army Chief, Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva, says Sri Lanka has reported 201 more positive cases of COVID-19 this evening. According to him, 140 of them are close contacts of the coronavirus patients linked to the Palliagoda fish market. Meanwhile, 24 other positive cases were identified from several fisheries harbours across the country. The remaining 37 infections have been detected from quarantine centres. The Minuwangoda and Palliagoda cluster has so far registered 3,883 positive cases in total. Following the latest update, the total number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in Sri Lanka shot up to 7,354. Sri Lanka also witnessed its 15th death this morning as a 56-year-old from Kuliapitiya fell victim to COVID-19. Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that the Sri Lanka Army has been highly praised by the United Nations organization and also internationally for defeating the separatism conspiracy. The minister stated this at a ceremony held to mark the 75th anniversary of the UN, organized by the UN office in Sri Lanka. He participated online. He also emphasized the multilateral concept on primary policies regarding the honor, sovereignty and territorial integrity of all states. He also pointed out that these policies should be taken forward among the member countries of the UN to enhance friendly relations. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. We continue with local news. The Labour Department has decided to accept benefit applications of the Employees Trust Fund at the nearest Labour office. The objective of this move is to provide the health safety service in the face of the coronavirus pandemic. Commissioner General of the Department, D.K. Prabhat Chandrakirti, said that a program to allocate a date and time by telephone will be conducted from Monday. Plans have been made to recite the Ratana Sutra from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. at 200 temples in the country. The program commenced at the Abhayaramya temple in Narayanpeta yesterday. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa was present on the occasion. It has been organized by the Ministry of Cultural and Religious Affairs, the Department of Buddhist Affairs, led by the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Reciting of the Ratana Sutra will take place to minimize the impact of the coronavirus and other problems which have an influence on civilian life. The SLBC will broadcast live the Ratana Sutra from the Valukaramaya temple in Kollupitiya today. The SLBC, the Ministry of Religious Affairs and the Department of Buddhist Affairs requests all chief monks of the temples to relay the Ratana Sutra using loudspeakers. The Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation will broadcast the Ratana Sutra live for 1 week. It will conclude on Vappul Munpoya Day, which falls next Friday. The Bank of Ceylon, the National Lotteries Board, the Development Lotteries Board are supporting this program. Next, the main news story.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The National Operational Centre for the Prevention of the Spread of COVID-19 says quarantine curfew will be imposed in 2 more police areas in the Colombo district this evening. Thereby, the Gotatua and Mulleriava police areas will be under quarantine curfew starting from 7 p.m. today. The police request the public to stay at home on weekends and limit their travel. The police also stated that it is essential to limit travel as COVID-19 cases are reported from the areas where the quarantine curfew is imposed. That was the main news story. Watchlight is up next.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
A look at Watchlight now. Diyavadana Nilame Pradeep Nilangadala Bandara said people from the quarantine curfew areas and their close contacts are not permitted to enter the Sri Dalada Maligaba premises until further notice. The decision was taken as a precautionary measure following the COVID-19 pandemic situation. The National Identity Card, NIC, has been made compulsory for devotees to enter the Sri Dalada Maligaba. It is also important to follow the health guidelines. That was a look at Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow. Ethiopia's Prime Minister condemns aggressions after Trump comment. Indian Prime Minister inaugurates country's biggest cardiac hospital in Ahmedabad. Iran's leader urges penalties for COVID offenders. Ethiopia's Prime Minister has said his country will not cave into aggression of any kind after President Donald Trump suggested Egypt could destroy a controversial Nile dam. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is at the center of a long-running dispute involving Ethiopia, Egypt and Sudan. Mr. Trump said Egypt would not be able to live with the dam and might blow up the construction. Ethiopia sees the US as siding with Egypt in the dispute. The US announced in September that it would cut some aid to Ethiopia after it began filling the reservoir behind the dam in July. Indian Prime Minister dedicated the country's biggest cardiac hospital at UN Mehta Institute of Cardiology and Research Centre and launched a mobile application for telecardiology at the civil hospital campus in Ahmedabad. The new facilities have been set up at a cost of 470 rupees crore and has increased the existing 450 beds to 1,251 beds, 531 cardiac ICU beds, 15 cardiac modular operation theatres and 6 cardiac labs. Mr. Modi said efforts are being made to connect every village with better health facilities. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei called today for strict punishments for violators of COVID-19 restrictions as the Middle East's hardest-hit nation battled a third wave. Latest official figures showed the coronavirus had killed 32,320 Iranians and infected 562,705, with 5,840 new cases and 335 fatalities in the previous 24 hours. Taking a swipe at Arch 4, the United States, Khamenei said Iran must enforce curbs better and end disputes between institutions over the pandemic. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Ethiopia's Prime Minister condemns aggressions after Trump comment. Indian Prime Minister inaugurates country's biggest cardiac hospital in Ahmedabad. Iran's leader urges penalties for COVID offenders. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news is up next.
Development News is brought to you by...
My wife always sets a full lunch table even if it's just the two of us. She always expects people to drop by, like maybe the army.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neveyi.
On to development news. The construction work of the Rajamawatha Badulla Kandy Road has commenced. Under this program, the first phase of the construction work will be carried out from Halialla to Maspanna area. The construction was initiated by State Minister Nimal Lanza. This road will be constructed parallel to the Saubhagya Dakma program initiated by the President. 1,370 million rupees will be spent for the construction work. That was development news. A look at sports news next.
When Tati bought a new family car, it wasn't just for the four of us.
It's a 10-seater van. Enough for friends and relatives too.
Mummy insisted on building an extra room in our new house. Well, you never know who'll come to stay. We need more pillows too.
When I was studying late, Nangi would come by to help.
No, I don't know physics, but I do know you need a Munchie Super Cream Cracker.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others.
When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves.
Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neveyi.
Sports News is brought to you by
Munchie Chocolate Cream Biscuit. Chocolate in every bite.
A look at sports news. Kolkata Knight Riders won the match played against Delhi Capitals by 59 runs at the IPL tournament. Batting first, the Kolkata Knight Riders team scored 197 runs at the end of the allotted 20 overs. In reply, the Delhi Capital team scored 135 runs for 9 wickets in their 20 overs. The match was played at the Sheikh Zayed Playground in Abu Dhabi. That was a look at sports news. Business news follows.
Hey guys, we've got our very own Queen Bear here to review something for us.
Okay, here we go. Is the right amount of crunch and OMG so much chocolate. The texture is so good. It's creamy and velvety and just so much chocolate. The packaging is super cool and new and there's like so much chocolate. And OMG, the taste, it tastes like so good and there's so much chocolate. Like with every bite. 10 out of 10 for me.
Munchie Chocolate Cream Biscuit. Chocolate in every bite.
Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. NSV Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The World Bank Country Director for Maldives, Nepal and Sri Lanka, Mr. Faris Haddad Zervos, accompanied by the World Bank Country Manager for Sri Lanka, Ms. Chio Kanda, paid a courtesy call on the Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Professor W.D. Lakshman. They discussed various matters of mutual interest. Governor Lakshman emphasized the need to rethink support provided by multilateral financial institutions to enable emerging and developing economies to strengthen their production and innovative capacity in particular, thereby enhancing economic stability and resilience of such countries. That was business news. Economic news follows.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The wait is over and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSV Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, at its meeting held on the 21st of this month, decided to maintain the standing deposit facility rate and the standing lending facility rate of the central bank at their current levels of 4.50% and 5.5 0% respectively, thereby continuing the prevailing accommodative monetary policy stance. That was economic news. Finally, a look at the weather report.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And finally, a look at the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the eastern, Uva and north-central provinces and in the Mullaitivu and Vavuniya districts after 2 p.m. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize the damage caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Several spells of showers will occur in the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Kurunegala, Galle and the Matara districts. That was the weather report. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. 201 COVID-infected cases have been identified today. The Foreign Minister says the Sri Lanka Army has been praised internationally for defeating separatism. A new method to accept EPF benefit applications from Monday. Quarantine curfew has been imposed in the Gotatua and Mulleriava areas. News from overseas. Ethiopia's Prime Minister condemns aggressions after Trump comment. That ends tonight's news broadcast, and there's a smiling face on the other side. I can see all 32 smiling from ear to ear is your dear friend and mine. That is Mario, all set and ready with all those names. I saw him writing and scribbling and doing whatever to take down all your names, and he will be presenting Family Choice. Mario, all yours.